Mexico, Philippines, back at it again.
La velocidad para mí es algo muy importante porque siempre he sabido tener esa habilidad en mí desde muy chico. Por eso es una cosa fundamental que es Diego La Hoya. Es por eso que en lo que yo haga, hasta los detalles más pequeños de mi vida, siempre estoy pensando en entrenar mi rapidez.
I try to run as much as I can. I think being able to physically and mentally stay focused for long periods of time is important. It's what gives you that edge.
Well, for me, speed is everything. Power comes from speed. So at any given weight class, if you're faster than your opponent, you avoid their punches and you hit back harder. So everywhere I go, even in the smallest details of my life, I'm constantly looking at how fast I am.
All right, back at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino, ready for our second fight here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN Plus. The man making his way to the ring is Christian Chimpa Gonzalez. This is only his second fight under the tutelage of Joel Diaz, but Joel wasn't in his corner for the last fight because he was with Lucas Mentise in Kuala Lumpur for his fight against Manny Pacquiao, but he did beat Germán Meraza on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN July 13th at the Novo Theater, but he knows that this fight is about revenge against Ray Perez.
Oh yeah, and he wanted that revenge. He talked about it clearly, and he was really adamant about it. And this what makes good boxing, and if he's do what he say, I'm looking for an exciting night with him.
It was February 22nd when they met right here in this same building for the first time. All right, ready then for this, our feature here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN Plus. We send it up to the ring with Mark Fratto.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino in Indio, California. This is Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. This contest is a rematch scheduled for 8 rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and presented by Tecate, the official beer of boxing, and Hennessy, never stop, never settle. The judges for this contest are Jerry Cantu, Alejandro Rogin, and Zachary Young. And controlling the action at the sound of the bell, the referee in charge is the doctor, Lou Moret. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 134 3/4 pounds. As a professional, his record stands with 23 victories against 10 defeats, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing white and gold and representing Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray, the Technician Perez. His opponent across the ring fights out of the red corner. He weighed in at 134 1/2 pounds. His impressive professional record consists of 19 victories against only 2 defeats, 15 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing white with pink and hailing from Buena Park, California, ladies and gentlemen, Christian Chimpa Gonzalez.
Come on.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm giving you instruction in dressing room is have a good, clean fight, obey my commands, return to your corner, and await the bell. Good luck.
All right, so B-Hop, this is a home fight for Christian Chimpa Gonzalez, not because it's close to Southern California, to Buena Park where he's from. It's because he's literally been living here at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino during his entire training camp with Joel Diaz. So literally, we're in his home.
Yeah, in his home, he's comfortable here. Let's see if he fights comfortable. Let's see if he fights too comfortable. I want to see what I can pick out early in this round here to see if he used that as an advantage.
Nice left hand from the Filipino southpaw. Another one of these Mexico versus Filipino rivalries. Now, he dominated Chimpa with tighter punches, a quick left hook, and consistent lead rights on February 22nd, right here in this building. At the time, his father was training him, and since then, he left his father, Oscar Gonzalez, to train with Joel Diaz, and he said, I want to improve my craft, I want to work on my jab. Let's see if he's able to do that tonight.
Pick him up.
Yeah, he talked about that at length. But you know, if you look at Perez, you look at how he sets up his body shots with these combinations, and he's sort of like backing up, but he's not running.
Yeah, because he just landed a nice check left hook, and Christian Gonzalez walked right into it.
But he's walking into him. Christian is reckless, and Perez is sitting back waiting to counter him with either a right hand or a left hand to the body. And that's going to really be a factor as the round goes on if Christian changes that type of approach.
You see the Mexican flag emblem on the left side of Ray Perez's trunks. Well, that's in honor of his trainer, Salvador Casillas, who trains him out of the Linwood gym.
Okay, stop,
and
guys, stop.
All the fighters that he spars with
the holding,
are Mexican.
Okay? Stop the holding.
Nice left hook there from Chimpa Gonzalez in the white and pink trunks in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October.
Perez is using that left shoulder from a southpaw position, which will always put him in position for that right hand, either up to the ribs or over the top. And that's why he's throwing it, because, hey, he's a southpaw, so he's going to throw that right hand more than an orthodox fighter will.
And B-Hop, when I see the demeanor of Chimpa Gonzalez, I don't know that he's fully recovered from the left hand that shook him earlier in this round. You look at the way he's standing, how he's leaning in. I mean, I don't know that he's completely recovered yet.
Well, the balance is not there because you just mentioned the legs. And he doesn't seem together as far as his body. Seems to be really leaning forward to get countered with either a right hand from the southpaw position. But I think that right hand got his attention, and it got his attention just now.
Nice hand from Ray
He should
Perez.
at least move his head when those punches, before they come, he should get out of the way.
And the only way he's moving his head now is when Ray Perez moves it with a left hook. Once again, double left hook from Ray Perez as he was in the right hand stance. Now he's the southpaw stance at the close of round number 1.
Con Golden Boy es una familia de peleadores. Cuando nosotros tenemos una meta, la cumplimos. Para ser campeón se necesita disciplina, fuerza de voluntad, sacrificios y talento. Los límites no existen en el boxeo.
We are bold.
Ready for round 2 of a scheduled 8-round fight, a rematch between Ray Perez and Christian Gonzalez from February, where Ray Perez came away with a wide decision victory over Chimpa. And the way he's fighting early on, you see the crisper punches, the more powerful punches favoring the Filipino once again.
When Perez put those punches together, that's when you're going to see a reaction that Perez is not going to be able to handle.
Ray Perez.
Ray Perez is going to be able to throw those punches. And you know what? Christian ain't going to be able to handle it because he's falling in, and Gonzalez is just standing there just trying to grab and hold because he has to fight that type of like really sloppy fight, like lean, make it rough, make it tough because he can't compete at a distance.
You know, and he knows that Ray Perez is susceptible to cuts. He was cut against Nino Facunaya in 2013, Hugo Cáceres that same year, Ray Juntilla, Marvin Mabite, among many other cuts. So he knows that if he makes it sloppy, you know, his skin could break up, and you know, you got to look for any advantage you can get, and that's what he's doing there, leaning his head in.
Yeah, and Ray Perez, you know, he's that type of fighter with that heart. He's not thinking about cuts. He's thinking about how can he put that southpaw position punches together, combinations and all that. But right now, Ray Perez should be throwing punches and not let him get close, not let Christian get close to get hit. He letting him walk in without paying a price.
Until there. Finally, a nice left uppercut from Ray Perez stops Gonzalez in his tracks, but I agree, he had let him take control, come forward and push him against the ropes.
And you know, to Gonzalez's credit, he's fighting a fight that's for him. This is his fight. This is where he has a really good chance in making a fight rough and also winning some rounds if he continues to throw punches.
You see that nice left hook to the body from Christian Chimpa Gonzalez here in the second round of a Schedule 8 rounder. Now the combination punching from Chimpa gets the crowd going.
Perez didn't like those body punches. He reacted and got off that ropes real quickly. And if Christian recognized that, he will continue to go to the body.
You can see the inflammation also on the right eye of Ray Perez. He's got tender skin. You know, he doesn't, he's got 33 fights as a pro. Only 7 knockouts, so he doesn't have big knockout power, but if he lands, like he did earlier against Chimpa, he can hurt you, but now it's Chimpa landing.
He just got hurt, Perez, and I don't know how he's holding on, but he just got hurt. He needed to get in the center of the ring.
Yeah, the ropes are not his friend. His back is to the ropes. Chimpa Gonzalez able to put in good work. Big comeback round from Chimpa. Let's listen in to Joel Diaz.
Right now. Let's go. Hold it. You have to stop being in the goddamn ropes, Ray. Ray, listen to me. You gotta stop boxing and stop being in the ropes too much. He's thinking, hey, Ray, he's digging the body too much. Stop grabbing him, pulling him down.
You want him to continue to throw punches. And listen, the uppercut's going to eventually come. And that's where the punches now become now more significant. Here again, punches, the uppercut is trying to be made. And you know what? Continue to throw punches, and he's retreating, trying to get off those ropes because the rope is not his friend.
He's dangerous. Go a little fucking swing hard.
Look at those body shots from Chimpa. Trying to finish up top, B-Hop. So when Chimpa can throw combinations, he's better off. The same could be said about Ray Perez. Whoever throws combinations is getting the better of their opponent.
Yeah, but Perez ain't getting the better of those body shot punches because he's showing body language that A, he don't like him, B, how can he get out of the way? His fight is in the center of the ring. Perez must stay in the center of the ring with the jab. But when he goes back in the corner like this where now he's at a disadvantage.
Guys, let him go.
And Christian Gonzalez is stronger because he's pushing him back, leaning forward, and he's staying close enough where his strength from his body is pushing Perez back.
Pretty nice right hook there from Christian Gonzalez. Partially blocked was that left hook from Ray Perez. There you go. This is a Bernard Hopkins type of fight.
In the alley, because you know Gonzalez is keeping it tight, and you know it doesn't look pretty to people probably at home, but they do see action. And you know what? This is his style. You know, his style ain't in the middle of the ring. That's Perez style. And so he continued to keep him on the ropes where he is winning.
Stop. Break.
Dr. Numaret stepping in as the third man in the ring, giving him a respite And here comes Chimpa Gonzalez once again, working off of that left hook, now digging to the body with that same hand.
I like to see Christian throw more left hooks to the body, you know, because now Perez knows coming to the body, but now go to the head. Double left hook. That's what Christian needs to do.
Let him go.
Now Gonzalez not really allowing Perez to
stop.
work very well, but he switches from southpaw to orthodox. Where do you see Perez being more efficient? Where he's a southpaw or when he's on the right?
I think he's more efficient when he's a southpaw in the middle of the ring. Not being a southpaw on the ropes, because it doesn't matter then, your guy's just as close. In the middle of the ring, Perez is at his best.
Chimpa doing a very good job of keeping Perez where he's not doing very well against the ropes.
And he kept his head right there so he won't move. So he got his left foot over his right foot, which is the southpaw position, so he can't even go out the back door or the side door, which is the right side.
Nice combination there from Christian Gonzalez.
Both guys are in condition to continue to push and shove and throw punches, but you know, I see Christian having a little bit of advantage in strength and also his technique of keeping the fight in close on the ropes for Perez.
In the trenches, that's where Christian Gonzalez does his best work. Low blow from Ray Perez. Very Bernard Hopkins-like with the referee on the other side.
Well, I threw more than low blows than that. I don't think 10 by now because they're so close, the referee can't really be up on everything. The close fights, you must put. Here we go, body shots.
Big finish from Chimpa in round 3. Joel Diaz with the instructions.
Making me look bad. Making me look bad. You hear that? I'm talking to you. What? Round 4 already. We're round 4. Hey, I'm gonna stop the fucking fight if you don't throw punches. You're looking sloppy. Breathe. You're not even tired. Él está muerto, cansado, güey. Él está cansado nomás que tú nomás te estás recargando en él, Chimpa. Don't be fucking lazy. Let's go work.
All right, they want Chimpa to throw more shots, but check out these uppercuts, B-Hop.
They come in. I mean, they was told in the corner to throw an uppercut, and he's letting them go because the other uppercuts have been effective. And you know what? When you're not getting away out of them, you continue to throw.
Both guys being effective with that uppercut, left uppercut from the Filipino fighter Ray Perez and the Mexican-American fighter Christian Gonzalez with the right uppercut. All right, so boxing runs in the blood of Christian Gonzalez. His father, Oscar, was his trainer up until 2 fights ago when Joel Diaz and the Diaz family took over his training camp. But he's also a half-brother of former featherweight champion Alejandro Cobrita Gonzalez. So he's been around the ring his entire life.
Yeah, and he got good genes because, you know, when you have that bloodline like that, wherever it's coming from, you got to display it when it's time. And right now, he's displaying it. Again, he's fighting his fight right in the chest, throwing punches, making it rough and tough. You know what, this is a fight. It doesn't look pretty, but he's winning and he's being aggressive.
I mean, after being hurt in round number 1, much like in our previous fight with Ricky Dulé against Edgar Ortega, the tide has turned in favor of the Mexican fighter because Christian Gonzalez he's forcing Ray Perez to fight his fight. He's not giving him any room to operate.
He got Perez on his heels, backing up, and Perez is seen to be winded a little bit, so he might be taking his strength by leaning. When you're leaning and you're punching and you're pulling, that drains you, and that's what we see now. The only way Perez can get out of this is keep it in the center of the ring, let his hands go, and try to make the fight more a distance than close.
Only you would know what it's like to wear somebody down with your body and your physicality in the ring, and that's exactly what Chimpa Gonzalez is intent on doing in this fight, and it's working for him. This is where Ricky should be doing his work.
Let him go.
There it is, a nice shot to the body from Ray Perez.
Perez needs to be sneaking those shots in, right hand from a southpaw position, because he's a southpaw in the left hand too. So try to get more than one shot out of that, because right now, to me, look more of the weaker one. He just got hit with the last left hook of a combination. He don't look strong, but he needs to now use his professional.
No, let him go.
Professional style and experience and try to go ahead and throw points to get himself. So right now he's throwing haymakers.
You see the desperation in Ray Perez here. Chimpa intent on getting revenge or avenging that loss from February. Didn't look too good for him early on in the first round, but things have started to turn around. This is a fight right up your alley, B-Hop. This is something you'd be proud to say, go get him. This is how you do it.
In close and dirty, let it go. And Gonzalez is just chopping away. Those punches, it's not hard, but they're consistent.
And you see the body work once again from Chimpa Gonzalez. Ray Perez just like hell, looks over at the referee, Dr. Lou Merez, says, hey, get him off me, as we're now halfway through this scheduled 8-round fight.
Okay, stop.
We are bold.
Well, for me, speed is everything. Power comes from speed. So at any given weight class, if you're faster than your opponent, you avoid their punches and you hit back harder. So everywhere I go, even in the smallest details of my life, I'm constantly looking at how fast I am.
No more.
Second half of this scheduled 8-round fight. 5th round, Bernardo Osuna alongside Bernard Hopkins here at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino for tonight's main event on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. When you tune into ESPN2 at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, will feature Jason Quigley out of Ireland taking on Freddie Hernandez.
No more grabbing. Next time a point. You understand?
All right, final warning from Dr. Lou Moret against Ray Perez for holding. So now he's going to have that to worry about.
Well, Ray Perez can do him but hold because Christian Gonzalez came straight out, pushed him right to the ropes, and started wailing on him. And you know what? Perez cannot even defend it because the strength level is not there. And you see now he's getting hit with some punches now that's going to be effective.
Let him go. Come on, fight out of there.
The referee's saying fight out of there, but you know he needs to go ahead and hold until he can fight. Right now, he's not in a clear mind to be able to throw punches.
Stop. Get back.
Nice left hook there from Ray Perez. He's still got deceptive power when Chimpa just leans in like that. Chimpa still needs to be careful.
Yeah, but you know, he waits to see if anything come back, and yes, something came back just now. So he's throwing punches because he's been forced to fight. And when you've been forced to fight, you're sort of desperate throwing punches. But they dangerous though. Look, good body shot. He still seems to have it, but he don't have it from a long distance. It's a spurts of it, like 5 seconds, 4 seconds, he try to go ahead and hold, which is a good veteran move to 5 times.
Low blow there from Ray Perez.
I meant to tell you, when you're tired too, you gotta throw those low blows in. So that had to come.
Give yourself a 5-minute break. It should be words of wisdom from Bernard Hopkins. When you're tired, throw those low blows.
It's turning out to be a rough and tough fight inside. That Perez is going to have to really find something to be able to get Christian to understand it or respect him.
Stop. Step back. You're getting dirty too, okay? Stop it.
You see Lou Moret, or you hear Dr. Lou Moret telling Christian Gonzalez, hey, you're starting to get dirty too, so I'm watching you. You see Perez breathing hard, trying to dig there to the body of Christian Gonzalez. Nice jab there from Christian Gonzalez. He gets caught with a nice left hook to the liver.
You know, Perez is throwing some pop on those punches, so you know Gonzalez better be like, you know, aware of that he still got some firing power every now and then. He sneaks one in.
I think Perez really woke up Chimpa Gonzalez there. in round 5 with that body shot because Chimpa came back with a nice combination to close out the round.
I try to run as much as I can. I think being able to physically and mentally stay focused for long periods of time is important. It's what gives you that edge.
La velocidad para mí es algo muy importante porque siempre he sabido tener esa habilidad en mí desde muy chico. Es una cosa fundamental que es Diego la olla. Es por eso que en lo que yo haga, hasta los detalles más pequeños de mi vida, siempre estoy pensando en entrenar mi rapidez.
Clean.
Round 6 of a scheduled 8-round fight at lightweight. Christian Chimpa Gonzalez seeking vengeance against Ray Perez, who beat him last February. Bernardo Osuna alongside Bernard Hopkins, and Perez really needs to step it up here in the final 3 rounds of this fight.
Well, he heard the corner and he came out through 2 good right hands that met their mark.
Nice counter.
But if he don't continue to throw punches to try to actually get maybe a knockdown or 2, then it would probably be the same rotation of the last rounds, because Christian Gonzalez is continuing to push him forward to the ropes where he's at his strength. And it seems like Perez don't have any strength to even fight back with it.
And what do you attribute the lack of strength of Ray Perez? Is it the body shots of Chimpa, or just the fact that he wore him down by being on him physically the entire fight?
I think it's a combination of both, because when you got a body on you and you're also fighting in a way where you just can't get him off you and you're throwing one punch like, you know, here and there, that doesn't discourage the guy to not come in. He's going to still come in. I think the combination of both is affecting Perez right now.
Ray Perez looking for any break he can get. He gets a little bit of daylight and lands a nice right uppercut there against Chimpa Gonzalez, but Chimpa walks right through it and keeps coming forward. You see the face of Perez, you see his demeanor, and the way he's just holding on, and this may come to a head with a point deduction for Ray Perez.
Yeah, because Perez is like like he's like, it's like that he has a demeanor and he's been fighting the last couple of rounds. It's like, I can't keep this guy off me. And it seems like he just can't find a way, or even try to find a way to be able to go ahead and make Christian back up.
That's a good way.
Well, you got to continue to do that, but I don't think the power is there. It looks good, he got the points, but I think he has to do it and should have done it earlier.
Yeah, those 2 uppercuts from Perez, but Gonzalez walks right through them, comes right back at him, closes a gap.
You know, when Perez throws those combinations and they hit the target,
he
needs to spin out of that, because if he don't spin out of it, he's going to get countered, and he's still going to be in the same mud that he started off in.
That right uppercut from Perez was really effective, and I think that Chimpa Gonzalez, after hearing Lou Moret give a warning to Ray Perez for holding, if you see the way he's holding, he comes into Perez, makes Perez put his hand around him a little bit, and then he makes it so Lou Moret warrants him for holding.
Definitely a veteran move, and a move that he's been doing for the last couple of rounds. And you know what? The referee's on a different side. You don't see it, because that's a defensive, also offensive move that has worked for Perez.
All right, Dr. Lou Moret actually warned Christian Gonzalez there at the end of the round for holding him from the back of the neck. Here's Joel Diaz.
I don't know what to tell you no more. I told you so much shit, and you're not listening. Échale agua en la cabeza.
When you're in the clinch, don't open your hands. Let the ref do his job. That's when he catches you.
Dude, why in the fuck are you holding him?
Last warning, I'm pushing you down and holding him. You understand? Like I gave him last one. No more.
Tell him. Hey, don't fuck around and go. Chimpa, I don't know what to tell you no more, bro. You're not listening. You're keeping him distant, and then you drop your hands and he catches you on the outside.
Same thing in close. You got one arm hold and hits that sharp right uppercut. 2 uppercuts in a good position right there, and then he doubled him. It was to the body, then he went up. When you look at the big one, the left hand is real short punch because he's leaning forward.
All right, the frustration in the corner of Christian Gonzalez in the voice of Joel Diaz, who's sat in this seat where you are, Bernard. It's really on the fact that he does good things and then lets it go. And he's holding Ray Perez when instead he should be working against Ray Perez. So there's a lot of frustration, even though I think he's comfortably ahead in this fight.
I think so too, but you know, you still need to work on the things that you don't know what the judge is looking at. You don't know how close some of these rounds is. To me and you, it might be something one way, and it might be another way. We're not the judges. But he's right. He's instructed him to not do these things. Don't hold like he's inside. Let your hands go. Don't hold him. Don't keep him wide. Keep your body tight and work the body.
I think Ray Perez really feels that he can build on what he did in round number 6. Now he has Christian Gonzalez up against the ropes, and we've noticed that in this fight, whoever has their back to the ropes is in bad shape. And here's a left hook from Ray Perez that hurts Christian Chimpa Gonzalez, and he's looking to finish here in round number 7.
Exactly what was told to Christian. Don't be in that position. And you know what? The trainer, the coach was right, telling him that's what happens. And it doesn't look like he's going to survive this fight.
Another big left hook, and down goes Perez. It's a slip. But Christian Gonzalez has got nothing left. Once again, like in round number 1, his legs are wobbly. He's leaning forward. He's looking, and he's going to get caught.
If Perez sit down, take a little split second, throw an uppercut or right hand or something that's meaningful, he can get a stoppage right now.
But Perez is also extremely exhausted. He can't follow up on what was a huge shot here in the 7th round. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left of action in this fight. And here we see that left once again find a home on the face of Christian Gonzalez. Ray Perez, big left hook, folds down Christian Gonzalez.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How are you? I'm gonna let it go for a little bit, okay?
The right eye of Christian Chimpa Gonzalez closing. You can't see that left hand, and here comes Ray Perez looking to close the show. And Dr. Lumeran steps in for the big comeback knockout win of a Ray Perez over Christian Chimpa Gonzalez. It's a fight that Christian Gonzalez had under control, B-Hop, and just one punch, as we've seen many times before, can change the entire fight.
Change the whole entire fight, and you know, one of the legendary trainers of this time warned so profoundly before this round started, and you know what? It happened. It happened.
It did happen, and it happened at 2 minutes and 15 seconds of round number 7. Christian Gonzalez, this is how he got caught, and this was the beginning of the end.
Here we go right here, that straight left hand, and then right there, that punch there, because Christian Gonzalez was on the ropes, waiting to get hit, and that left hand right down. Perfect shot, nose bloody, and then he went down and took a knee, which was a smart move. He didn't try to fight when he was hurt because he didn't have the legs to do it. Here we go down another left uppercut at the end that didn't hit him, but it was the left hook and then a right hook.
And I think the corner threw in the towel, B-Hop. The supervisor was up there with the towel at the behest of the corner, so they did stop the fight. Joel Diaz, he really did warn him about what could happen, and then once he saw his fighter hurt, he didn't want him to get hurt any further. Very smart move from the corner. It takes a lot to throw in the towel as well.
Very smart. When your fighter can't defend himself, that's dangerous.
Look at the right eye of Christian Gonzalez. Not a lot of swelling, but it's completely closed. He could not see those punches coming.
And his nose might be broken because a lot of blood came out of the nose, kind of swollen right now. But yeah, he got hit in that last round with some punches that adds up. And the coach, the trainer, was trying to bail him out before they stopped him.
This is boxing. This is what happens with two warriors in the ring. A great start for Ray Perez, then a great middle of the fight for Christian Gonzalez, and Ray Perez finishes it off, and we go to Mark Frado for the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on information provided by the red corner, the referee in charge, Dr. Lou Moret, calls for a halt to this contest. Your official time, 2 minutes, 15 seconds in round number 7. Your winner by knockout from Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte in the Philippines, Ray, the Technician, Perez.
So Ray earns his 24th victory, and Christian Gonzalez suffers his 3rd loss. All 3 losses have been against Filipinos. The first one was he got knocked out cold by Romero Duno in 2017. He lost to Chimpa Gonzalez and Ray Perez, and now this one.
Yeah, they're not picking on Christian, but it's just this thing where he just get the bat and the stick.
That's what happens in fights. So Ray Perez with a big finish here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN+. For Bernard Hopkins, I'm Bernardo Osuna. Coming up next on ESPN2, it'll be our main event. Jason Quigley taking on Freddy Hernandez in a 3-fight card that will also feature Eddie Gomez against Shoki Sakai and Romel Caballero against Hugo Padron. Don't miss it from Fantasy Springs in just a few minutes.